Hey everyone, and welcome back for another deep dive with us.
It's great to be here.
Today we're looking at something a little different, something that was sent to us by senior technical writer Curt Robbins.
Oh, yeah.
He sent over this article, and it's called Prophecies of the Flood
Okay.
by Ethan Mollick.
Interesting title.
It is, and it was published just a few days ago on January 10th, 2025, and it's really got some interesting thoughts and predictions about AI and what it might mean
For all of us.
for all of us,
Yeah.
but particularly I think for people like our listeners who are technical writers, documentation experts,
Yeah.
IT professionals.
Yeah, folks who work with information all day, every day.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So this is going to be a fun one, I think.
Yeah, Malik kind of starts out this whole thing with this idea that, AI labs, they're predicting just a massive leap forward in AI capabilities.
Okay.
Almost like a flood of intelligence is about to hit.
A flood of intelligence. Okay, so that's a pretty dramatic image.
It is.
But, I mean, is it realistic?
Yeah.
I mean, we've all heard these kinds of predictions before, right?
Of course.
Scan out.
Right, and Malik acknowledges that skepticism.
Okay.
And he points out a few reasons why we should at least be cautious.
Okay.
For one thing, tech predictions have a history of being a bit overblown.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Remember all that hype about self-driving cars just a few years ago?
Well, totally. We were all going to be in robo-taxis by now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, and AI itself has this tendency to develop in what he calls a jagged frontier,
Okay.
meaning it can be really, really good at some things and surprisingly limited in others.
Right.
So it's not like AI is suddenly going to be good at everything overnight.
Got it. So progress isn't always, smooth and predictable.
Exactly.
And then even if the technology is there, it takes time for people to adopt it.
Yeah.
Right. And actually figure out how to use it effectively.
Absolutely. Systems change slowly.
Yeah.
However, that being said, he then presents some evidence that even skeptics are starting to take notice.
Okay.
And he calls this the rising water. And a big part of that is this new AI model from OpenAI called O3.
O3. Okay. What's so special about this one?
Well, it's the successor to their previous model, O1, which was already pretty impressive. But the key difference with the O3 is it's what's called a reasoner.
Yeah.
It takes more time to kind of think through a problem before it answers,
Interesting.
which seems to lead to much, much better performance.
So it's not just about speed then.
Right.
It's about taking a more thoughtful approach.
Exactly.
Okay. But how do we know it's actually better?
Well, because it's been just crushing benchmarks.
Really?
Yeah, there are three in particular that he highlights.
Okay.
First, there's the graduate level Google Proof Q&A test, or GPQA for short.
Okay.
And this is designed to test, really high-level knowledge with questions that even Google can't answer easily.
So pretty tough.
Yeah. So PhDs with full internet access averaged about 81% on questions in their field.
Okay.
O3 scored 87.
Wow. Okay. So outperforming actual experts?
Oh,
That's significant.
yeah. And then there's frontier math, which is a set of really hard math problems specifically designed to push AI to its limits.
Oh, wow.
No AI had ever scored above 2% on this until O3 came along and hit 25%.
Okay. Big jump.
Yeah. Now, there are some caveats. The problems O3 solved varied in difficulty, and its solutions sometimes relied on shortcuts rather than truly deep understanding.
Right.
But still, a pretty remarkable jump in performance.
So 2 benchmarks down, 1 to go. What's the last one?
It's called the ARC-AGI test.
Okay.
And it's designed to measure fluid intelligence.
Okay.
The ability to solve completely new problems that you've never seen before.
Right.
And again, O3 blew past previous AIs and actually surpassed baseline human performance.
Wow.
Scoring 87.5%.
All right. So these are big numbers.
Yeah, it did need a lot of computing power and time to get there. But the point is, these benchmarks suggest that AI is overcoming obstacles that we thought were years away.
Okay. So we've got these, super smart models breaking records.
Right.
But how does that actually translate into the real world?
Right.
How will we actually see these advancements, playing out in our jobs, in our lives?
Well, that's where things get even more interesting.
Okay.
Mollick argues that one of the biggest developments we're seeing is the rise of what are called AI agents.
Agents. Okay. I'm not sure I understand what that means.
So think of it this way. Instead of just answering questions, imagine an AI that can actually take action, can research a topic, plan a project, maybe even execute tasks independently.
Okay.
That's the idea behind an agent.
So like a tireless researcher and assistant at your beck and call.
Exactly.
Okay, no, that sounds potentially game-changing, especially for anyone who spends, a lot of time doing research and writing reports,
Right.
which I know is a big part of the job for a lot of our listeners.
Absolutely.
Does Mollick give any examples of how these agents are actually being used in the real world?
He does. He talks about Google's Gemini with deep research,
Okay.
which is a specialized research agent.
Oh, this is the one where he actually used it himself, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Malik had Gemini research different ways to fund startup companies, a topic he knows a lot about.
He does. He's literally written a book on this.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So he gives it a prompt. A few minutes later, he gets back a 17-page report with 118 references.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
So what did he think of the report? Was it actually useful?
He's pretty impressed.
Really?
He said it was a solid report, especially considering it was generated by AI in just a few minutes.
I mean, this is a guy who's taught entrepreneurship at Wharton, published research on this topic.
Right.
So if anyone knows what a good report on startup funding looks like, it's this guy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Of course, he also pointed out some limitations.
Right.
You know, Gemini was restricted to publicly available information, and its analysis lacked some of the nuance and depth that you'd get from a human expert.
Right. So it's not about replacing human expertise entirely.
Right?
But it could be a powerful tool for getting a head start on research and maybe even automating some of those more tedious parts of the process.
Right.
And that raises a really interesting question for all of us.
It is.
Could these AI agents become powerful starting points even if humans still need to refine that final output?
Absolutely. It's almost like we could be moving towards a more collaborative model where humans and AI are working together
Right.
to get even better results.
And that brings us to another fascinating area that he touches on,
Okay.
the possibility of generalist agents.
Okay, so if a specialized agent is like a super-powered research assistant focused on one topic,
Right.
what's a generalist agent?
Imagine an AI agent that can tackle almost any task you throw at it, not just research.
Okay.
Talking about AI that can manage your calendar, book travel arrangements, draft emails, maybe even write code.
Now that sounds like something out of science fiction.
It does.
But are we really on the verge of seeing that kind of general-purpose AI?
That's where things get really speculative.
Okay.
There's a lot of debate about whether we'll see general-purpose agents anytime soon.
Some experts think it's still a long way off, while others believe it's just around the corner.
So plenty to ponder there.
Yeah.
And it's important to remember, even as we're talking about these super smart models and agents,
Right.
there are other advancements happening in AI at a really rapid pace.
Absolutely. Things like context windows, how much information an AI can remember are expanding dramatically.
Right.
We're also seeing incredible progress in what's called multimodal capabilities,
Okay.
meaning AI can now see, hear, and even speak.
Wow. So it's almost like AI is evolving on multiple fronts simultaneously.
It is, and that's why it's so hard to predict exactly what the future holds. But one thing is clear, the pace of change is accelerating, and it's going to have a profound impact on all of us, especially those of us who work in these, technical fields.
So where do we go from here? What are the key takeaways from all of this?
I think the most important message is we can't afford to ignore these developments. AI is becoming more powerful, more pervasive every day, and it's going to change the way we work, live, and interact with the world.
So it's almost like we're standing at the edge of this new era,
Yeah,
and we need to start thinking about how we're going to navigate it.
exactly. And for our listeners, especially those of you who are technical writers, documentation experts,
Yeah.
IT professionals,
Yeah.
this is where things get really, really interesting.
Because you're the ones who bridge that gap between this complex technology and the people who use it.
Exactly. And as AI becomes more powerful, the need for clear, concise, human-centered communication is only going to grow.
So it's not about being replaced, it's about evolving.
Right. It's about becoming the translators, the interpreters, the sense makers in a world where AI is generating more information than ever before.
What steps can you take right now to prepare for this rapidly changing landscape?
Maybe it's experimenting with a new AI tool. Maybe it's taking a course on AI ethics. Maybe it's just having a conversation with your colleagues about how AI might impact your work.
Whatever it is, don't wait for the flood to come. Start building your arc today. Because the future of AI is being written right now,
Yeah.
and we all have a role to play.
And who knows, maybe some of you listening will be the ones who help steer us towards a future where AI empowers us all.
That's a great note to end on. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive. Until next time, keep learning, keep exploring, and keep asking those big, important questions.